Hey, it's Jason Coleman, mortgage broker with Price Mortgage, and today I want to talk to you about the incoming applications that I've been getting about purchasing homes. The biggest question is it a good time to buy right now? Will values dip? And the amount of applications that I'm getting is double than what before COVID, which just blows my mind because of the number of unemployment, 30 million unemployed, which I think is going to come back down. I think we're at about 20% of all Americans have filed for unemployment, right? It's kind of a money grab while you're being laid off, and I don't think that that's going to be the final number. I think they're saying like 7% or something. So it just blows my mind. The number of forbearances, people have started forbearances. I think a couple million people have got into forbearance, have applied for forbearance, and the effects of that are yet to be seen. This could take 6 months to a year for it to really shake out into our economy, into our housing, how many people are really going to be going into a forbearance and how that's going to affect their foreclosure, the sale of their home, the stability of their home, or whatever. I think towards the end of the year that home prices will remain stable, if not even improve, here in Maricopa County, Arizona. We just have too many people moving here, not enough people listing their home for sales, such low interest rates and such high demand that I just don't see, other parts of the country are probably going to see different effects, but here in Maricopa County, I think that our values are going to remain the same. So moving on to the next subject, and that is you can't please all the people all the time. Recently, I put a post up of me going out and doing some home repairs for a veteran that they had some water stains on the garage ceiling, and I went out there with some, fix-it stuff and got up there and did the fix, and it worked, and we got the loan funded. But on the final review, the veteran gave me 5 stars out of 5 stars across the board, except only gave me 4 out of 5 stars for service and professionalism. I don't get it. Okay, you can try your hardest, you can do your best, and you can't please all the people all the time. That's just reality. I'm just documenting that here. I am not a perfect person, and neither are you, so get over it. This COVID thing is really getting to a lot of people's heads, and we are worried about the actual health risk here of the disease, but I don't think enough of us are focused on the health risk of staying home, being unemployed, being on furlough or whatever. I think that the health risk on that side, the suicides, the domestic violence, the kid abusing, the frustrations that come with not being able to provide, are mental health issues as well. I think they're prevalent over the actual disease itself. I think the number of people being affected mentally are 10 times worse than the actual disease itself, and I think the government needs to take that into consideration ASAP. I've been doing videos here for 2.5 years, and I'm going to say on the reality side, I don't get a huge amount of engagement. It does take effort to get out here and do these videos on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, or whatever you're planning on doing. And last week I was feeling pretty defeated. I was like, I don't really know how effective this has been. Yes, it has been effective. Yes, it has worked. But man, I just don't get the engagement. And I tell people, don't worry about that. I tell people that. So the reason I'm saying this is because last week I didn't do a video. So I got in my head and I was like, So this week I wasn't going to do one either. And I got an inquiry from out of state from one of my daughter's grade school friends. And and you know what? It picked my spirit back up and said, yeah, you got to keep doing this because it is effective. So I just wanted to share this story with you, some of the failures that I go through on a daily basis. 4 out of 5 stars, that sucks. And when you only get 3 or 5 or 10 likes on a video that you spent hours working on trying to produce and upload and type and all that stuff, it's pretty defeating when you don't get a lot of engagement, right? So I wanted to share the story with you because even though you don't get the engagement, you don't get the comments or whatever, you don't get the views you think, people are still watching. And it is about consistency, and it is not about the amount of likes, views, comments. It's not what it's all about. So if you have any questions about that, please give me a call. If you have any questions about housing or purchasing, I don't think waiting to buy a house is ever a good idea. I want to share our story. We bought in 2007 at probably the peak of the crash. And for the '08 crash. And a few years later, the neighbor over there, they sold their house. We bought for like 360 and they sold the house for like 280. And so we were $80,000 upside down for a period of time. But, 10, 13 years later, whatever it is, we've paid down our principal and the house is worth more than we paid for it. So, regardless of what's happening in the housing market, whether values are going up or down, it's always going to go up in the long run. Always, because of inflation. Like gas, like bread, it's always going to go up. So is it a good time to buy? And the answer is probably always. Almost always it's a good time to buy, especially with low interest rates. You can afford more and do more. So I appreciate you guys watching. And if you have any more questions about buying a home or refinancing, my phone is always on 7 days a week. And I look forward to hearing from you. Until next time,